let's talk about growing your email list. Now, I get a lot of questions for me as far as how do I make a lot of my sales? And a lot of my sales come through my email list. So I focus on growing that. And I have thousands of people on my email list. And I'm going to show you right now some of my favorite ways to get people onto your email list so that you can do the same. Now, before we get into that, I want to make sure that you have grabbed your freebie. It's the 65 digital products you can create and sell. Just go to herownmagic.com/65. It's a huge mega list of lots of digital product ideas, probably a lot that maybe you haven't even thought of yet. So you can get that right now, herownmagic.com/65. Now, of course, one of my favorite ways to actually grow your email list is you want to give your subscribers and the people who are going to be joining your email list, you want to give them a little thank you, a little, hey, thanks for being here. Here's my free thing. Now, this could be a digital download. It could be a masterclass. A lot of people right now are doing audio courses. So this could even be maybe you have a private audio feed, a private podcast feed that when people join your email list, they get sent that private feed link and they can start learning from you via audio. That is something that's really popular. I've seen it work super well. It's really fun. And if you think about this day and age, a lot of people don't have a lot of time to sit down and watch a chunk of videos. So if you can give them something really easy to digest and to listen to regularly, win-win, right? I love podcasts. Do you? Let me know. Let me know if you like podcasts as much as I do, because I listen to them all the time, at least every day, probably. And so that's one way to do it. Now, again, we're going to be thanking our audience for joining our email list via this freebie. And probably you have a website. If you don't yet, that's fine. But you're going to create, it's called a landing page on your website that people can opt in. So they give you their email address and they get this free thing. If you think of it yourself, what is really attractive to you? You have probably put your email into some place, somewhere in order to get a free thing. So think about yourself and think about what's going to be beneficial to your audience. Who are the people that are coming to your website? Who are the people that you're wanting to help and to serve? What are they looking for? What's going to be very helpful for them? So for me, I work with a lot of people who love creating and they love creating digital things. They like creating courses, membership sites. They like creating passive income streams online. So for me, I was thinking, man, it'd be super cool if I could create a mega list of 65 digital products that they could just download and blow their mind because it's full of really awesome things. So that's what I ended up creating. It's a mega list. Mega lists work really well because a lot of people want to take it, digest it, and carry on, implement it into their life, into their business, whatever. So that freebie has done really well for me. And think about that for you, for yourself, for your audience, for your business. What is going to benefit your audience the most? So the person that's going to be downloading the thing, what's going to benefit them the most? Now, this next one is actually one of my favorite ways, and it's super fun too. So especially if you're coming into it and you have 0 people on your email list and you're thinking, man, even just getting that first person to subscribe and join my email list, where am I even going to find them? Where are they? This is one of the easiest, fastest, and in my opinion, most fun ways that you can do it is by doing events, either hosting them yourself, which of course is a lot of work, or tag teaming with other people. So one way, like last year, I went on this big escapade of doing a ton of different speaking events, lots of summits, and it was so fun because if you are a summit speaker, so someone else is hosting their summit and you either apply to be a speaker or they reach out to you to come and speak at their event, then you get to mingle with everybody else, all the other speakers. You get to do a little bit of networking. You get to make those connections. And then you also get to show up and use and be a part of that summit as a way to help grow your authority, grow your audience, grow your business. So it is a win-win, honestly, for everybody, especially if everybody does the commitment of the promoting of the summit. But what you can do on these summits is, of course, you show up, you do your speaking, your training, whatever it is that they're expecting you to do for their summit, and then you can give away something for free. Now, of course, every summit has different rules, and some people don't like you promoting at the summit, some do. It's, it really kind of depends on the speaker who is running the summit. But if you become a summit speaker, then you're probably going to be in with several others. I've seen summits that have just 6 speakers. I've been on summits that have 30 speakers. And then each day of the summit, a chunk of the speakers release their trainings, or, their trainings are released to the audience. But in order for you to do this and do it correctly, is you either want to have a freebie, something to give away to them. Hey, thanks for listening to my training. You can download my free thing at blah, blah, blah.com, and send them or give them a way that they can continue to learn from you. Now, with these summits, I bring in people into my freebies from these summits, hundreds of people per summit that I do. That's a lot. And especially if you are starting from zero, one of the easiest ways that you can start building that email list is by doing events like this, being a part of summits. Now, you may be thinking, how do I even find these summits? Where are they? I'm going to show you that in just a second. The second one I'm going to talk about before I show you how to be a part and find these summits is collaborations. So maybe summits feels very big and kind of overwhelming, and you're like, oh man, like that feels like a really big task. I'm just starting out. What do I even do? Then the second option I have for you is collaborations. And this is a great way where you can partner with another business owner who has an audience that's complementary to yours. So they're not selling something exactly like you're selling, but they're selling something that complements your business. And what you can do is you can tag team with them. So what that means is, maybe they come on your podcast, maybe you go on their podcast. Maybe you say like, hey, I see you run a Facebook group and I really think I can offer this amazing training to your group. Could we schedule a time where I could go live in your Facebook group, or where I can come on your podcast and teach your audience this really cool thing that I know how to do, or, share a bit of my story with them. But what this allows you to do is it allows you to borrow other people's audience. So if you're coming at this, you're starting from zero, I don't have an audience, I don't have social media, I don't have a podcast, I don't like, where am I even starting? Then your best friend is going to be Facebook groups. Now, this is what actually, I have two examples for you as far as places to find summit speaking, or really speaking engagement, like speaking opportunities for you, because I really feel like speaking and video are the best ways to really share your point, share your story, share what you have to offer, is by doing these things. So what you're going to do is, if you're looking for speaker events or summit events, is you're going to go to places like this. So you're going to go over here to the search bar on Facebook, search Facebook, and you're going to put in summit speaker, or looking for a summit speaker groups. You're going to type those things into the search bar, and you're going to get lots of options. So this is one that I pulled for you. This is summit or speaker connections. So this is hosts and speakers who want to connect. So this is a great way that you can get on people's podcasts, get into their summits. Here is another one. This is one that I really love. This is the visibility clients growth virtual summits community. So it's really awesome. You can go in here and you can say, hey, I have a summit coming up. I'm looking for speakers who can speak on boom, 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 boom. But then other people will go in there and they'll say, hey, I'm running a summit. I need speakers on boom, 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 boom. And what you're going to do is you're going to keep your eyeballs on groups like this, or you're going to go in here, you're going to type in this, and you're going to watch for posts on Facebook of people looking for a summit speaker, looking for a podcast speaker, looking for whatever. Use this search bar, use it, and you'll be able to find plenty of opportunities. And what you're going to do is you're going to scroll through those groups and those posts. And you're going to say, this one sounds like me. I totally fit this avatar of what they're looking for. I'm going to shoot them a message, or I'm going to comment on this post and say, I'm a great fit. Here's why. This is what I can speak on. And you're going to start building connections in this way. When you do that, you're going to start landing summit speaking events, podcast speaking events, all of these fun things where you can show up and share your knowledge your way with an audience that is already built and being built. So it is a win-win for everybody, because you're filling a spot for them because they need someone to speak on something, and that's you, and they're helping you because they already have an audience probably that they have built. Now, the third way is through publishing. And what a lot of people think is, oh, I just need to publish all the time on social media. I need to do these posts. No. Publishing, there's a whole strategy to it, but publishing could be blogging, it could be podcasting, it could be YouTubing, it could be, it could be social media. What I would say though, is I would consider your long-term strategy. So your long-term strategy is going to be publishing on a platform that you quote unquote own. So publishing on your blog, publishing on your website, publishing through your podcast, publishing through YouTube channels, getting those SEO SEO friends going. Those are all going to help you so that Google starts recognizing you and becoming your friend. And then using social media as a publishing support. But when you look at this and we're talking about publishing, I don't mean just on your platforms, because you may be thinking, well, I don't have anyone who comes to my website. I don't have anyone listening to my podcast. I don't even have a podcast. How am I supposed to publish if I don't have any of this stuff? Well, what you could do is pick one platform. So you could say, okay, I'm going to start writing one blog post per week. This is what I'm going to start doing. I'm going to make sure that my title is really catchy and full of amazing keywords where Google's going to be like, oh, hey, I see those keywords you're using, and it's going to bump you up in search. You're going to either, pick your blog, pick doing a podcast, pick doing a YouTube, one publishing channel that you can stick to fairly consistently, where you're going to show up, you're going to start sharing value. And within these published pieces of content, you are going to share that freebie that we talked about earlier. You're going to share that download. You're going to share how they can watch your masterclass or, join your email list in order to be able to access that masterclass, whatever it is, that free thing. You're going to give them just kind of like what I did at the beginning of this. Where I'm like, hey, make sure you grabbed your freebie, heromagic.com/65, so you can get that free download of 65 digital products. That's what I try to do with every piece of content out there. So then you have a little machine that's working for you, even when you're off at the park with your 4-year-old, pushing him on the swings for 3 hours. You have systems that are still working for you behind the scenes. So you're going to pick a publishing platform. Now, if you're starting at zero and you're not, you don't have anything, then something I would consider if I were you is, again, going back to the borrow other people's audience situation that we talked about earlier. So what are some blogs that are complementary to yours where you could reach out to them and say, hey, I would love to write a blog post for you. Here's what I can write on. Can I also promote my freebie in that blog post? And they're probably going to say yes, or they may have a fee. They may say like, yeah, we can totally do that. We do charge people to write on our blog or write for a blog space, and that's fine. But what you're going to do is you're going to start getting comfortable reaching out to people and reaching out and seeking out those opportunities to help you start growing your audience. So if you're starting from zero, what you're going to start doing is make a list of all these people who have an audience that they have already built that is complementary to what you do and what you have to offer. You're going to go to them. You're gonna email them. You're gonna say, hey, I've been an amazing follower of your blog or your podcast for a really long time. I specifically love this episode on da da da. And I was wondering if you are taking podcast guests. I would love to be on your podcast. Here's what I can talk about. Da, 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 da. And then you're gonna send that. And you're gonna get comfortable doing that over and over so that you start building your email list, your connections, and all of those fun things. Okay, got it? Now let's move on to the last one I'm going to talk about for today, which is contests and giveaways. And who doesn't like to win free stuff, right? We all love free stuff. We all love it. And so what you can do is you can run a contest or you can run a giveaway. Now I have two platforms or softwares, whatever you want to call them, that I like. One is King Sumo and one is Privy, and I like them for two different reasons. Now the King Sumo one, you just go to King Sumo. I think it's kingsumo.com. Let me check. It's right here. Yeah, kingsumo.com. And this is what it's going to look like. So if you go in there, you set up an account, it's free to do. You obviously can upgrade if you want to get rid of their branding or, have more options and stuff, but the free version works just as well. And what you can do here is you can run a giveaway. For example, we'll talk about doing a giveaway first. So here is one that I did a long time ago. It's a digital magic planner and digital template vault giveaway. So you do the title, you do the description, you say when it starts, say when it ends, say what you are when you're going to award the award, how many people can win it. And then you're going to reward them not only for entering the giveaway and being like, yeah, woohoo, enter the giveaway, but they're going to get extra rewards and extra entries for entering into your giveaway if they take certain actions. So that's what you can see right here. So they can share, of course, the giveaway, which you want them to do. You want them to share it. You want them to, help you spread the word, right? Work smarter, work smarter. Number 3, the third step is bonus entries. So after they enter they start sharing your giveaway, they can have bonus entries. So instead of having just one entry, they can have 10, 20, whatever. And you're going to set up different actions that they can take in order to get new entries, more entries. So you can say, make sure you like my Facebook group and you get 10 entries for doing that. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and you get 10 entries for doing that. Make sure you download this thing, your freebie. You can download this thing and you get 10 entries. Make sure you do this and you get 10 entries. You can do whatever you want and have them take certain actions in order to get more entries. So if your giveaway is juicy enough and people really, really want it, they're going to take a lot of these actions, which is going to start growing your community, growing your email list, and growing your excitement, because it is super exciting that people start to take notice of what you have to offer and they start taking action on it. So I love King Sumo, super fun. The other one is called Privy. Now, this is good. I did find a way for those of you who use Member Vault. There is a way to use Privy on Member Vault. Privy is very popular in the Shopify space. So e-commerce, if you're selling physical products, really honestly, if you're selling digital products too, but if you're selling something that is product based, it's really cool. And you may have seen it before, where you go to a website and this little like spin to win wheel pops out on the side of your web page or the person's web page, and it'll be like, spin this and win a coupon, win a free download, win this, whatever. And I really love the spin to win option. I think it's super fun and it's a little game. It's a way to gamify your website, which is just a win-win for everybody because it's super fun and super duper exciting. So I wanted to share those two apps for you. If you have any questions about this or thoughts, or if you want to add more ideas for growing your email list, you can do it on the bottom of this video if you're watching this on YouTube, or over in the Facebook group, Digital Product Female Entrepreneurs on Facebook. You can find me there if you have questions, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye.